Yeah, we got 15 now, boys. Ah, damn it! No matter how hard I tried and got so far, in the end it didn't even matter as I wasn't getting any better. I stayed in the same score and rank range since last week. How was I going to beat Ian at this rate? Oh, the show's back on. Good to hear PPG. I turned the volume up just slightly, resuming my training.
Welcome back to PB&J. Remember, if you hear that name somewhere else, we totally thought of it first. Tonight I'm bringing you a very special show because, as you might notice, my partner has fallen asleep.
Oh.
Don't worry, I won't be doing anything too bad to the guy, but he has a lot of fears and I figured I'd do something to help him combat those.
I sound like wet plastic echoed out of the radio. When John next spoke, his voice was muffled.
Yo there. PB&J, wake up. I have come for you.
What? There was a second pause over the radio. I held my breath then. Oh God, no! I'm sorry, please don't take me, please don't take me!
You will make the perfect specimen.
No, okay, you can take me, but please don't take Luca. He doesn't know any better. He's just a dog. Good reference. John started laughing, but his muffled voice made it sound absolutely demonic. I should have made more of my life when I had the chance. I have so many things to tell people. Jeff, if you're out there, I secretly consider you a really good friend. And Josh, I'm really jealous of your beard. And Hannah,
Whoa there, boy.
There was a rustling as John took off whatever he was wearing. Couldn't you just wait a second? He probably wanted to tell me how he loves me.
It's only me.
John?
Come over to Daddy. Come hug me. I'm sorry for hurting you.
Quite shuffling around, and then someone being pat on the back.
There. I'm sorry. It's over now.
It was you?
Of course it was me, you numb cunt.
I've never been so happy to see you. And these two. For a long while, there was just rustling and patting. There was just rustling and patting as PPG was presumably being calmed down. I smiled. Whether it was obvious or not, John cared about PPG. He was trying to cheer him up, too, in his own special way. Despite that, I still worried. PPG didn't sound any less stressed. If anything, he sounded a bit more so. I bit my lip. I'd been worried about it literally all day. Maybe it was time to do something to get it off my mind. Yeah. The radio show was hosted in Asagao Art Center, wasn't it? That's where they took me after the Flower Festival. There was no problem in simply popping by, right? Just to wish him luck before the big game? This wasn't weird at all. Totally not. I entered Azalea Art Center and made my way through the halls to the radio showroom. The show was still going on, so I couldn't just barge in. Instead, I stood outside the door waiting for PPG and John to finish up. I sighed. What was I really doing here? Why did I care so much? Ian was right. If PPG wanted to do something, it was none of my business whether he did it. I didn't run his life. He didn't have to make his decisions taking me into consideration. But I didn't just feel concerned for him. I also felt a little responsible for him. He is my brother. Back when we were little, I was the one who watched out for PPG. I protected him from people who made fun of him. I chased down boys who tripped him on purpose. I even punched a kid in the face after I saw him shove PPG down on the concrete. Nice. We were only a few months apart in age, but he always felt like a little brother to me. It was hard for me to see him as anything different, even now that he was so insanely tall and clearly had things together. Well, as together as obsessively destroying yourself over a silly soccer game could be.
Should have punched me if you were so scared. What if I was an actual alien? Then punching you wouldn't make much of a difference. You don't know that.
John and PPG walked right past me, too deep in conversation to even notice I was standing there. I gently cleared my throat. Ah! That was... Oh!
Oh, Hana. It's just you.
What are you doing here? John glanced from me to PBG and smiled like a Cheshire cat.
Hey, I gotta get going, but I'll leave you two here. Take your time, too. We have permission to be out, so we won't get in any trouble.
I smiled at him, and he winked at me. PBG was pink. So, why are you here? Well... Shit! Wow! Language? Ow, I bloody cracked my neck. I didn't really think about what I should say once I was here. Mostly I just wanted to see him to put my mind at ease. Yes, he was alive, and he was in one piece. He didn't even look that bad. Much better than he had the last few days. Maybe he'd been using that time to catch up on sleep. But he still shouldn't be missing so much class. What should I say? Not this one. This one, probably. Maybe not this one. I think I want to go with I want to support you. I've been... conflicted. I feel like you're pushing yourself too hard, but I know how important this is to you. I just wanted to do something to help. I stopped. I wanted to give him something, but what? A kiss. Oh, you don't have to do that. I fumbled around my jacket, looking for anything that might serve as a good gift. There was nothing but my body. Oh! Oh, wait. Stepping forward, I wrapped my arms around him in a hug. My head just barely reached his chest. It was more like hugging his stomach than hugging him. I know the feels. His heart was beating rapidly just under my ear, and he went stiff as a door. Maybe this wasn't the right thing. He shifted a little under me, and then I felt two long arms wrap themselves around me too. Something prickly and heavy hit the top of my head. Thank you, Hana. As he spoke, vibrations tickled my head and face. No problem. We stood like that for some time. Longer than was strictly necessary for a friendly hug, but I didn't mind. In fact, I kind of liked it. It was different from the normal kind of hug I got from Mai or my parents. Something seemed different, but I couldn't put my finger on it. Finally, he pulled away. As I smiled at him, I realized what was weird. My heart was beating like crazy. PBG's face was rosy, and I was sure mine was the same. He cleared his throat. Well then, I guess I'll just have to get going now then. He started walking backwards towards the door, not taking his eyes off me. Haha, yeah, good, yeah. Thank you for that. Yeah, no problem. Will I see you at the game tomorrow? You know you will. I beamed at him, and he beamed back. Great! Man, I'm so excited. There's no way we'll fail. He chuckled. Thanks, Hana. I didn't do anything. No, you definitely did. Hit the door with a loud bang. Joking around, he grabbed the handle and tried to pull it open, but it didn't budge. Oh shit, it'll be locked in. It's a push door. Oh. He pushed on the door so hard that when it opened, he flung himself out into the night air. He stood for a few seconds, processing what happened. Just as the door swung closed, he turned and waved to me. That was well worth the wait. Aww, little lovebirds. In the afternoon of the big game, the sun was harsh on the air and the air was heavy. Wait. 20! Oh, injury, that's not good. Dear Diary, I'm starting to get really worried about him. If he keeps going at this rate and he hurts himself, what can I do? If he wants to work himself to death, I can't make him stop. Well, this is clearly out of date. The humidity was almost unbearable. Going outside felt like walking into an indoor swimming pool. It was finally half-time at the soccer match. The score was even, 3-3. Asagau's biggest rivals, the Miorari Fates, were being extremely aggressive. One player in particular already got a yellow card and was consistently getting into minor scrapes, I think. So far, no one was hurt, but there was plenty of moments where Asagao might have been able to score had they not been avoiding his risky lunges. It wasn't looking good. PPG was in great form, but stress had taken its toll. His hair was matted with sweat and beads of it rolled down his face. He waved his arms vigorously, talking to Jeff, who was being just as enthusiastic back. It doesn't look like it's going very well. Oh, now you're here.
Don't worry, we just gotta believe in the team.
If you say so. I didn't feel good about this, not at all. PBG and the rest of the team jogged back onto the field. He got into position this time as the center forward, directly opposing the rogue player from Morari. Wait, you want to position directly? Yeah. I have a bad feeling about this, Fox. Oh god, that scared me. The whistle blew as my turn to me. If I keep acting like that, you'll drag the team down. Come on, why can't you? PBG! What just happened? Music doesn't cut out like that unless something bad happens. Oh god. PPG was on the ground, holding his leg and writhing in pain. The rogue player stood above him, a smirk on his face. PPG, no! Don't you? Oh, I'm gonna slap that motherfucker. The Asagao students in the stand lost their minds. Foul words flew around us. If anything, it seemed like a riot was imminent. The referee ran out onto the field and spoke to PPG. He shook his head and tried to stand on his leg, only to instantly collapse again. I don't understand. What happened? That player basically trapped that player basically trapped PPG's ankle between his feet and twisted it on purpose. Bloody hell, I put it into like the sharpshooter, it sounds like. It looked like some kind of judo move.
That was no judo.
Finally, a stretcher arrived from the main building along with Mr. McPaster. Oh god, that guy? PPG was gently placed on the stretcher and rolled off the field. My heart sunk as I watched him roll past me, his face contorted in pain.
How are we going to win without PPG? He's our best player. Jeff can't handle the rest by himself.
I can't stay here. I'm going to check on PPG, okay?
You can't go to the nurse's office. They won't let you in.
I patted him and Mai on the shoulders and stood. I'll make them let me in by kicking their asses. I couldn't explain why seeing PPG in pain left me feeling so uneasy, but I felt like I was going to be in constant stress until I saw him. What if he was hurt? What if he was hurt worse? What if his leg was broken? What if it needed to be amputated or whatever? As I scurried in the office, I tried to keep the worst possibility from my mind, but I kept whispering thoughts through like a ghost. PPG wouldn't be able to play anymore. There was no way. Whoa, new area. Look at this place. Shit. Opened the door to the nurse's office myself. It was still and quiet, a far cry from the chaos of the soccer field. The sun was pouring through the open window, curtains fluttering slightly in the breeze. I glanced around for Mr. McPaster, but he was nowhere to be found. He's going to sneak up on us. PPG's legs formed long lumps underneath a bed, his feet sticking up in the air like flags. It didn't seem like anyone else was sick. I slipped through the curtains that were hung around him for privacy and pulled a stool up next to his bed. He lay still, eyes closed. Was he sleeping? How could he have fallen asleep so fast? Then it hit me. He hadn't been sleeping before this. Of course he fell asleep. In the distance I heard cheers. I stood and peeked out of the window, seeing the Asagao students in a frenzy and the players cheering. Somehow we still managed to win. I sat back down and brushed PPG's hair out of his face. Mr. McPaster obviously helped him clean up a bit, and as his face was no longer covered with dirt and sweat of the game. I glanced at his leg, snug under the sheets. I couldn't tell what was wrong. Should I take a peek? Let's look. PBG shifted and I glanced at him. Maybe that choice didn't matter at all. He blinked a few times and looked up at me. Hana, what are you doing here? The game! The game! Did we win the game? What happened? I glanced towards the open window. We won! He scanned my face and frowned. What's wrong? I glanced at his leg and bit my lip. His face fell. Don't tell me. Hello? Good lord. I cannot get over how creepy you are. He actually has a voice now. If you don't mind. Where did you come from? I've been here the whole time. What? PBG, I'm sorry to say that you won't be playing any more this season. PBG's eyes fell. He didn't say anything. The injury itself isn't so incredibly bad, but it would take a few weeks to heal. At this point, the stress of practicing and playing would prevent it from healing properly. This is my sad attempt at making Cry's voice, Cryotic Monkey. I feel like I'm doing okay. It's like a solid C-. If you try to push it, this improper healing will create scar tissue and forever limit the strength and flexibility of your leg. Please do not try to play. Even walking around campus will be more than enough stress. This campus is poopin' huge. Poopin'? I'm sorry, PBG. I put a hand on his arm, and he didn't react. Hey, it's okay. The team won this game, right? They're in line to do pretty well this season. You're their captain, and you would have done a great job of training them, so... A gentle hand rested itself on my shoulder, and I looked up at Creeps. I think it would be best if you let him rest a bit. Yes, sir. I stood, and with one last pat on PBG's shoulder, I left. Just as I got to the door, I remembered something. PBG! He was crying. I turned back around and left the room, pretending I saw nothing. I couldn't believe this happened to him. This was his worst nightmare. Wasn't there some way I could help him? We'll get to the end of the scene and we'll finish. Poor PBG, dear diary. Now he's hurt, and I don't know which hurt worse, his leg or his pride. I really hope he doesn't try to push it, or he'll have an injury to deal with for the rest of his life. Why can't he take a step back and breathe a little? I'll take this slide, and you can mind the movements while I'm... PBG, are you listening? Huh? Oh, I'm listening. I'm sorry. What was that? It was the day after PBG's injury. His knee was wrapped in a brace, and his ankle was stiffly bandaged to keep it from moving too much. He shouldn't even be walking on it, but he insisted on coming to class as if everything was normal. I'll read the slide, and you can do the movements. Sure. No matter what I tried, it was as if he was on another planet. Hey, how are you feeling? I'm fine. Are you sure? You can always come to talk to me if you need to. Thanks, Hana, I know that. He sighed. It's fine. I don't have anything to say, really. Okay, but if you do, I'm here. Thanks. The rest of the day passed slowly by. PBG didn't end up getting any better. Mostly he just stared at his desk and tried to move as little as possible. And I wasn't the only one who noticed. Still, there was nothing we could do. Alright, let's end it here. Someone say fan service? Alright. Well, that was a thing. I'm glad that the game has moved back up away from the inconsistencies of the plot, and it's getting to actual interesting stuff now. PBG has a busted leg. Something's wrong with him, we don't know what, and this plot feels like, the story feels like it's really moving along and getting interesting, and it might lead to something very soon. But anyway, thank you very much for watching. I'm getting into this again, and I want to see what happens with Pibbajibs. I feel like it's a toss-up between a good ending and a bad ending right now. I don't know what I'm gonna get, but hopefully we get something sick. But anyway, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye!